Hello and bienvenido, San Antonio. Welcome to the Alamo Hour, discussing the people, places, and passion that make our city. My name is Justin Hill, a local attorney, a proud San Antonioan, and keeper of chickens and bees. On the Alamo Hour, you'll get to hear from the people that make San Antonio great and unique and the best kept secret in Texas. We're glad that you're here. Welcome to today's episode of the Alamo Hour. My guest today is Art Pruneda. I say that right?
Pruneda, but close enough.
Close enough. Art is one of my good friends. Art is also one of the original CrossFit aficionados in the city. He has owned CrossFit Unchained since when? 7 years.
7 years, yeah. Since we started, we got our affiliate with CrossFit in December of 2012.
Okay. Also, small business owner who had sort of the guts to be one of the first early movers into the east side, I think would be fair to say.
Yeah, fair to say. I think when we first started looking in that area to open our gym, there was one CrossFit downtown. And then I think by the time we did get our lease and get open, we were the third one there. Yep.
Okay. The city's had a hard time getting people to move into the east side, so it's great that you did. You're still in the east side. You're in the near east side, I guess would be the best way to put it, but pretty close to Sunset Station.
Yes, very close. About half a mile from Sunset Station, so not too far.
Art is one of my good friends, and Art helped me, right the ship when I had let health issues go the wrong direction. I didn't have any diagnosis at that point, but I just knew I was eating and drinking and being a slob. So Art helped me get everything righted, and I was pretty consistent for about 3 years and then took about 6-9 months off, and now I'm back kind of dipping my toe in the water. So I've got Art on here today to talk about a few things. One of the more important things is staying fit, staying sane, staying calm during our impending shutdown, which starts tomorrow. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Before we get started, I want to run through some things with Art. I'm doing top 10 lists with everybody. It's going to change a little bit, but a few things stand the test of time. For one, I have my dog in here right now as we're doing this. So it's really two guests and a dog, which was the lesser-known canceled NBC show. But Art, do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog. Her name is Aspen. She is a golden retriever. She is 5 years old. We recently got her less than 6 months ago from a breeder. So our 18-year-old daughter has pretty much coined that we saved her from sex slavery. So she had 4 litters, and now she's ours. So she's an awesome dog. Before her, we did have Abner, who was a basset hound. We had him for 14 years. We got him when he was about 6 or 8 months old and had him for his entire life. And we miss him a lot, but Aspen's been really good. She's a really good dog.
A golden retriever named Aspen. I feel like the picture needs to be like a American flag flying in the background. I tried a case against a defense lawyer, and he got up and he started, and he goes, I have 2 dogs, a golden retriever and a black lab, General and Scout. And I just knew it was all bullshit. I mean, none of that was true. He was just trying to paint this picture. Next question. What's your favorite spot to eat at in town right now?
Favorite spot to eat at in town right now? Gosh, right now at the moment, I would have to say favorite spot go-to is usually Sweet Yams downtown. It's not too far from the gym. Usually hit them up for lunch. Really don't go out to eat too much. We do a lot of eating at home. The last few times we have gone out to eat together, my wife and I, the last 2 times we've been to Marisol's or Marisol's, yeah. Went there the last 2 times. Other than that, delicious. It is delicious, and the drinks are good.
Yeah.
So that's about it. We really don't have
the new one or the old one.
The one that's over there at Alon. So
the fancy one.
The fancy one, yeah. It's closer to our house, I guess.
All right, fair enough. So. I always tell people they come to San Antonio, okay, you should go do these things, or you should do those if you have kids. But if you really want a PhD in San Antonio, you need to check out these hidden gems. What is your San Antonio hidden gem that you recommend to people?
So being in the east side, very close to downtown, we get a lot of traveling CrossFitters. So what we usually recommend for them, depending on how many times they've been in San Antonio, once or twice, or even how long, we always recommend heading to the Pearl. There's just so much down there now in regards to restaurants, little bars. They got that food court now. They've got shops. So it's a really good spot for people who are visiting to go and hit. Even if you have lived in San Antonio all your life, maybe you live outside 1604 somewhere or out by SeaWorld. If you're going to hit downtown, definitely go check out the Pearl. That's usually where I'll tell people to go. After that, any of the missions, there's a lot of history involved, not only in the Alamo, but even the other missions that are a little bit further south.
I lived here 5 years before I knew what the other ones even were.
Yeah.
And I got there and thought, what in the hell have I been doing this whole time? I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're really nice and a lot of history. So we'll usually recommend people go and do that. So for us, at the gym, or me personally, just talking to people that are visiting us, it's always, you got to go hit the Pearl. If you've got, sometimes we have families coming in with kids, so got to go hit the new Museum down off of Broadway. Yes, go hit that, and then definitely, of course, walk the river just once. Don't spend all 3 days there. It's like, just go walk it once, you'll see everything, and then venture out. So,
your wife is a San Antonio Police Department officer. I think y'all are pretty involved with church, but what outside of your profession's activities, nonprofits, church, any other groups, what do y'all do outside of that?
Right now, we used to be involved in a lot, but recently with our kids, we've got 2 high schoolers, we've got one in college, we've got one on his own, our youngest are seniors. We've kind of put a lot of any extra stuff on hold for at least these last 4 years since Alicia started on with PD and we started, and our kids got into high school. But before that, we were involved with our church. With the church, they would do things with the food bank. We were at Bandera Road Community Church, which then went to City Church downtown, and now they recently changed the name to the Tribe or something like that. I don't know for sure because it's probably been about a year or two since we've been to that church.
So now kids, that's your hobby right now.
Yeah, kids are our hobby, and our last 2 are seniors, and now with the shutdown, they're doing school from home, so they're at home all day, and
fun.
And yeah, it's been fun. Had a talk with them just recently, last night actually, about this is a taste of what it's going to be like when they finish school. So don't get used to just sitting around and doing nothing. You better start getting out there looking for work, getting things done. No more sitting, playing video games till 2:30 in the morning or going and hanging out with friends. Your mom and I, we go to bed early because we both have to get up early. So y'all got to be in the house by 7. You got to be, quiet by 10. And if you don't like it, you can move out. So that was a good talk yesterday.
Do you have any odd hobbies?
Gosh, odd hobbies. Computers. I've always been involved with computers at some point. My college degree, I got a degree in information systems. So I started doing software development. The first year that I was doing software development, my coworkers, they got me into online gaming and Counter-Strike. That was back then. Yeah. Condition Zero. Now it's changed over the years, but so I started building computers, and so since then I was going through my garage recently and just throwing out a bunch of old computer stuff that has been sitting there and it's pretty obsolete, but my son, he's doing a lot of online gaming. So I recently built a new computer and started doing some gaming with him online, which the computer got put away probably about a month ago because I hadn't been on it for about 6 months. But there was a time for probably about a good 6 to 8 months that he and I were doing some gaming together. So it was fun.
We're going to get into this more. What is your recommended shelter-in-place activity? Mine's going to be Netflix.
Yeah. Right now, mine is probably playing with Aspen. She is... she's being a rescue dog. She's just been very timid. She lived in a kennel all her life, being with the breeder. So we're trying to slowly get her out of her shell. And so just spending time with her and having her feel comfortable around us enough to where she won't just go lay on her bed all the time. So she'll actually come up, she'll engage and talk. So that has been my favorite thing to do right now.
Winning over your dog's love.
Winning over my dog's love. Yeah. You know what? And the funny thing is this, that when we talk about her is, we went out and we bought her a bunch of toys, and she does not want anything to do with any of the toys that we bought her. I took an old towel and I cut it in strips, tied a knot in it, gave it to her. She will tear that thing up. So she's funny. She won't touch toys, but an old towel or something, she just goes to town on it.
All right. So I and most people in their youths followed some terrible trends. I had a mullet during the crisscross days. I wore overalls. I was probably in third grade then, so it's excusable, I think. What terrible trend did you follow?
Gosh, Gerbeau jeans.
That wasn't a terrible trend.
How was that not?
That was a sign of status. I couldn't afford Gerbeau. What are you talking about?
I got all mine from Solo Serve.
Well, I don't.
They were the irregulars.
Solo Serve is a cup, I thought.
Is a what?
A cup.
No. That wasn't until after YouTube.
Okay, well, let's not do the humble brag, because honestly, saying your terrible trend was how much money you had, because I couldn't afford Gerbeau. I wore Arizona jeans back then.
It was all a facade, man.
Anything else?
I would get them at
Jinkos.
I didn't do no. K-Swiss again.
Oh my God.
No, I was that prep. Yep.
Okay, so you were a jerk back then, obviously.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, when did you move to San Antonio?
Yeah. When I was 3 years old, my dad was, all my family is from San Antonio. My dad was in the Navy, so he was actually stationed out in California in 29 Palms. So I was born in 29 Palms. When I was about 2 or 3 was whenever he was done. So that's when we moved back to San Antonio. So people ask me, if I'm from here, and I'll tell them, yeah, I've lived here all my life, but I wasn't born here. So
I think since 3 is long enough to be your whole life. Yeah.
45 years out of my 47. Yeah.
Favorite Fiesta event?
Gosh, favorite Fiesta event has got to be Nyosa, but like on the Tuesday or, not Thursday, the first day it opens when it's not crowded, you go early, you can walk around, you can get food, that would probably be my favorite thing. Cause you can see a lot and taste a lot when it comes to the different cultures that are out there. But
so I've got 3 King William fairs. I've got one guy that said Nyosa, so he doesn't really do that stuff. You're the first Nyosa. Because it's usually just kind of a cluster.
Yeah.
All right, last question. What is the best excuse you've heard in a CrossFit class?
Gosh, the best excuse?
I can't do that, coach. Blah, blah.
I don't have time. Yeah.
You don't have time?
People say they don't have time. I'm too busy.
I feel like there's a better one. Like, I got bursitis or something, these made up things.
No, not in CrossFit class. I mean, we don't get too many excuses.
I tried every one.
You've tried, but I don't know.
When I was in CrossFit, I would go up in front of drop-ins who would take my space in front of the fan. I would tell them I had a medical condition that I had to have the fan, and it never did not work. Every single time it worked.
It was your gym, so they would move.
Yeah,
they didn't know you.
I mean, you do what you can. If they had challenged me, I wasn't going to fight them about it, but I'm a sweater. I needed it. Okay, I got Art on here today. I want to talk about a few things. Every gym in town, it seems, is doing a how to stay in shape during the lock-in. And I think for a lot of people, it's not about staying in shape. I think it's more about maintaining some sort of semblance of routine and mental health and just getting out and sweating and getting that stress out of your body. So let's talk about a few things. One, is there any place you're posting information for the general public about workouts or anything like that? Or do you have any recommendations where they could go and look?
Right now there's a lot out there, especially with this nationwide shutdown. Lots of gym, including mine. If you go to our website, unchainedaf.com, we have an at-home page, which is our blog that we are putting workouts, daily workouts on. These workouts, they can easily be done with somebody using a backpack. Inside the backpack, you can put a couple of objects to change the weight. And so a lot of gyms right now are doing stuff like that. So anybody, even if you've never had a gym membership, you've never had guidance, now's the time to get online, find a gym that's doing this, and just start moving around, follow the videos. Some gyms are doing Zoom classes. So it's like a virtual meeting. Everybody signs in, everybody does a workout together, and then you're done. Some will pre-record an hour-long class, and you can watch that. Some just do little tips of movements and stuff so that you can see what the movement's supposed to be like.
For people that don't know, what is CrossFit? I mean, it's a scary, nutty, weird world of people for the people that don't know. So what is CrossFit?
CrossFit, it's a strength and conditioning program. Have you heard of Zumba?
Have I heard of Zumba?
Yeah. Everybody's heard of Zumba. Zumba's more conditioning than strength. They don't use weights. Have you heard of like boot camp classes?
I have.
Okay. Boot camp is a strength and conditioning, but the strength part, the weights in a boot camp class generally won't be more than like 25 or 30 pounds. And that's like a combined weight. Like if you have 2 dumbbells in a boot camp class, they're both going to be 15, maybe 20 pounds, and that's it. CrossFit, it is a strength and conditioning. It combines weightlifting, gymnastics, and conditioning movements. You can have all 3 of those in one workout one day. The next day you could have 2 of them. The next day you could have 1 of them. It's always going to be different. We don't typically follow any type of routine like back in my college days. I'd go into the gym. I'm sure you did the same thing. On Wednesdays, it was, back and bicyps. And then on Tuesday, it was chest and triceps. And then on
20 minutes of
Wednesday,
cardio to start.
Yeah, maybe even that, walking on a treadmill for 20 minutes. Yeah, that was so, that mundane type of the same thing over and over and over again. We don't follow that. We like to, CrossFit's all about doing different workouts, workouts that are going to help you be better outside of the gym in your regular life, whether you're going to be carrying, all the groceries into your car, you're going to be helping a friend move from a 1-story apartment to a 3-story apartment. You're going to be carrying stuff.
Or just an impromptu walking on your hands contest.
Yes,
this could probably happen.
Who knows? Lots of things happen when alcohol's
When
involved,
I was trying to pitch to people, I always said CrossFit's like having personal training with a class of 8 people. I mean, It always felt like you walked in and you had a fairly personalized workout that was very different that you would not have thought out on your own. And you had a coach that was going to be involved enough that it was almost like personal training. That's how I always felt about it.
And that's actually how it started. CrossFit started with somebody doing personal training. They got really busy, so they started to do 2, 3, 4 people at the same time. And then it just evolved from there to kind of being like a group fitness. We're going to show people how to move. We're going to model it as they're moving. We're going to correct their movement. It's not like a room full of 30 to 40 people and I'm standing on a stage and you're just following, trying not to bump into the person next to you. It is not like that. A lot of CrossFit classes in town and even, around the world, they average anywhere from 10 to maybe 20 people. The bigger the classes, of course, you're going to have more coaches. Some gyms do, some don't. It's just, they're all different, but if you're looking for something different and you find a CrossFit gym, visit it for a while, take a couple of classes, assess how many people are there, assess, how many coaches are there, what's that, member to coach ratio in each class. And then, make your decision. If you don't like one, go to a different one because they're different. It's like trying Italian food, but you go to one restaurant and their sauce is too thick and you're not going to not eat Italian. You're just going to go find another Italian restaurant.
Why did you get into coaching CrossFit? What was the draw to you?
The draw to me was that, so my wife and I, when we found CrossFit, we were actually on our way to being entrepreneurs. We were trying different types of businesses. And of course we were previously, before CrossFit, we were doing a boot camp class at a regular big gym and spending time in that gym working out. I'm sure every guy has that thought, I wish I could do this, for a living, but I don't know how to open up a big gym like this. Well, then when we found CrossFit and we saw how it was more of the mom and pop type of gym shop, my wife and I, we sat down, talked about it, and we were like, we can do this. So let's see what owning a CrossFit gym is going to look like and start talking to owners. And then we just took it from there.
There's got to be a lot of hurdles along the way. I've known you long enough to have seen some of the hurdles you've go through. Talk to me about sort of what the most rewarding portions of doing CrossFit are. I mean, for me personally, you helped me without knowing it get my life back on the right path when, work and life and everything just sort of creates the wrong direction and you want to get righted, and sometimes you need a shock to your system. Tell me about some of these great, experiences you've had in helping people sort of get on the path that they're trying to get on.
I think for me, it is more about helping people become conscious of the choices that they make outside of the gym. When you walk into the gym and you're about to do a workout, if you're dying in this workout, your coach is usually going to ask you, why do you think you feel the way you feel? Did you eat today? Did you sleep? Did you drink? All these kinds of questions. And it's more about, are those good choices if this is what you want to do? If you want to be fit and you want to be healthy, do you think having 6 beers every single night is going to help you get there? And most of the time people will come to that realization that no, it's not. But that doesn't mean stop drinking beer. It just means don't have 6 every night. Wait until the weekend and have 2 or 3, but not in excess.
Make better life choices.
Yes, it's about helping people make better life choices. And a lot of the times, we see, as a CrossFit coach, as a gym owner, we see people for maybe about an hour a day, 3 to 4 times a week. And every now and then you get to talk to somebody and really, really talk to them and figure out and see like how life has changed. And a lot of times they'll just come up and tell you. Recently we had a member that joined us and her goal was to lose 20 pounds. And she went to the doctor and they told her, you're overweight. You've got some thyroid issues. We might have to put you on medication. You need to lose some weight. We'll have you test again in about 3 months and we'll see where you at. So we'll see where everything's at. So she came in with us. She started, we got her, changing life habits and changing her lifestyle. In about 2 months, she lost 20 pounds. And then one day she just came and told me, she's like, Coach, I went to the doctor, I had my blood work and they said my thyroid's fine. You cured me. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. You did it. I was just the tool. I gave you what you needed to do. You did it. Even at home when you weren't here, you changed your eating. You even got your husband and your kids to change their eating. That's what did it. So when I hear stories like that, it makes me feel good that I had that much of an influence on somebody's life to change it for the better, knowing that their health for a long period of time. This isn't something that this one person did for, 2, 3 months, 6 months now. She's been with us for 6 months. It's not something that she's just going to do for 6 months. She's in her 40s, so she knows like this has to be my life for the rest of my life. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen.
Right.
And so that's what I think for me, I get the most out of it is just knowing that, in the long term, helping somebody make, a few changes today that are going to exponentially get bigger as they get older and as the years pass, that's what's going to help them. So it's not so much what did I do for somebody today, but how that's going to affect them, 5, 10 years from now. And recently, I was going through, first world problems, right? My iCloud got full. And so I had to go in there and start deleting pictures and videos. And I went as far back as like 6 years and I had pictures and videos of some of our athletes. And I was just like, wow, I didn't even realize that Jose has been with us for 6 years. And I had pictures of him. I even found some videos of you and I sent you some clips. Yeah. And so, looking at you then, it's just different, and I'm sure watching that video, caused you to think like, wow, what was I doing back then that I'm not doing now? And, taking the break, I want to get back to where I was and not necessarily doing the same things, but just feeling that way. And so, I'm sure, you're starting to make a few changes and getting back to where you were. And that's what this is
the
about.
goal.
Yeah.
I mean, when I wanted to get into it, and look, I have a long past of competitively lifting, powerlifting. I mean, I wasn't walking in as an amateur. I was walking in with somebody with a lot of experience in the weightlifting world. And, CrossFit interested me because I knew it'd be a challenge. So I tried a different CrossFit and I felt like I was on an island. Like people were very cliquish. And I think that's something probably some listeners will think, I don't want to go there. It'll be very uncomfortable for me. So I tried that for about a month or two. I said, I'm not doing that. I went back to, being a blob. And then I saw y'all's was on my way home from work, and I checked with a friend who I knew you all, and I wasn't going to know anybody there. And I went and I wore, like people do, I wore my fat shirt, and, I went to the 6:30 class because I knew that was the least attended class according to you. And it was a long road, but I think a lot of people have that discomfort of just, one, being uncomfortable in front of new people who know what they're doing, and two, stepping into a situation where you don't know what to expect. What do you have to say to people that are thinking, I would love to do CrossFit, but that shit's scary to me? I mean, it's a very scary situation. So what would you tell them about trying to alleviate those fears so they can at least give it a shot?
I would tell them to come to our gym. That's what I would say. Just come.
Why is yours different?
There's probably about 30 to 40 CrossFit gyms in and around San Antonio. CrossFit, if you research CrossFit online, what you're going to see are a lot of the CrossFit games, which are like professional CrossFit athletes. It's like typing in basketball in Google and all you see are the Spurs, the Lakers. That's it. So when you see them playing at that level, the first thing you're going to think is like, I can't do that. So some gyms in San Antonio and CrossFit gyms, that's what they are. They're about that competition.
They all have their own personality.
They do. They're about looking better naked or being the best and being the strongest, being the fastest. I believe that my wife and I, we believe that CrossFit is a strength. It's a program that is developed for the average person who doesn't have a lot of knowledge about working out and they want some guidance. And so those are the people that we like to help. We're not about going the fastest or being the strongest. It's more important for us to have you show up and move around than whether you lifted 300 pounds today. That's what.
And I always tell people, your classes are full of normal people.
Yes.
I mean, these aren't people that are going to like blow the doors off and put a bunch of videos up on the internet about how strong they are. These are working people. Some of them are older, a lot of women, and they are there to try to stay healthy.
Yep. And the only way to find that is to come and see us.
Yeah.
You've got to step out of your comfort zone just for a little bit, go to a gym, take like one or two classes, and you'll know within one or two classes whether it's for you or not. And if you go to one and it's not for you, go to another one. Don't go to a CrossFit gym, and I don't want to call it a bad experience, but it just wasn't the experience you were looking for. Go find another one. If you don't find it there, go find another one. There are so many CrossFit gyms. I've had the privilege of knowing and still talking to a lot of the owners in San Antonio of CrossFit gyms. So I know that there are a lot of different personalities. So the personality of the owner and of the people that they have there, that's what their gym is about. And, if you're listening to this, whatever your personality is, there are other people out there that are like you, and you're going to be able to find that in a CrossFit gym.
60 days. That was my mentality.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it 60 days. And then if I like it, I'm going to do it 6 months.
Once you find a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I gave the other one 60 days too, and still felt like an outsider after 60 days, and I was done.
That was maybe too long, but.
Yeah, you pay for 2 months though. You're going to stick around for 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I think another thing to point out is people see these crazy movements. Oh, you're on, you look like a gymnast and doing all these crazy jumps. Everything's modifiable too. I mean, people can come in and say, I can't jump on a box that's 30 inches high.
Yeah, we have a box that's 4 inches high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe you can step on it if you can't jump on it.
Exactly.
And then maybe in 6 months you can jump on it.
Right.
Yeah.
We take it from 4 inches, we go to 8. From 8, maybe we go to 16. From 16, maybe we'll go to 20. Whenever you're ready to do it, that's how we see it. As long as you're coming in and you're getting your workout in and you're moving around, that's the first start in making different choices.
So let's talk about this. People are stuck in their house right now. They're going to be stuck in their house for at least 15 days. I want to talk about a few things with you. I want to talk about, you okay?
Yeah.
Just made a crazy face.
Oh, that's my knee.
I want to talk to you about sort of making good nutritional choices while you're
Yes.
stuck inside? Because honestly, I'm sure we're going to eat a frozen pizza tonight.
I think it's too late for that. If you've been to the grocery store and seen what's gone from the shelves, it's too late to make healthy choices right now.
Okay, so I think there's a few angles to this. Let's talk about first making healthy choices and not doing boredom eating.
Yes.
How do we avoid that? I mean, I sit on the couch and I think, oh, well, I wasn't hungry, but now I'm hungry. I want to go eat that thing.
Yes. Best thing to do. So boredom eating, you can't avoid it. You're going to get bored and you're going to want to eat. So it's more about what you make available to yourself to eat. If you've got 3 different kinds of bags of chips, guess what you're going to go for? The 3 different kinds of bags of chips. If you have 3 different kinds of fruit instead of bags of chips, guess what you're going to go for? One
Bags
of those
of chips.
Yeah. Well, I said if you didn't have.
Did you just compare fruit to chips?
No. What I'm comparing is what's available to you is what you're going to go for.
Carrots is one of those things I know if I keep around, I'll eat, and they make me full, and I'm not totally dissatisfied.
Yeah. And there's a lot. There are so many healthy choices out there instead of eating processed food. But that's the main thing is if you want to see what you can change in your life when it comes to eating, the first thing you need to realize is what you're eating, and most people, they only really consider what they're eating right at that moment, or what they're going to eat. Did you eat lunch today?
Yes.
What did you eat?
Carrots and a smoothie.
Carrots and a smoothie. Did you eat lunch on last Wednesday?
I don't know.
See, that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that did you eat lunch on Friday?
This Friday?
Yeah. See, you have to think about it. First thing to do is start journaling. Journal for a week. Don't change anything. Journal for a week so you can just see what it is you're eating and what and how much of that you're eating. And then from that journal, you can start looking at like, wow, I eat too much of this or I eat too much of that. And that's what pretty much gets people to the position that they're at, whether they're overweight or not. It's not because it's not because they're eating too much of something. Like I have people tell me all the time, I don't know why I'm overweight. I only eat once a day. It's like, well, number one, that's why you're overweight. It's because you only eat once. But what are you eating that one time? You got to look at that also. And so once you start, take a journal for a week, anything that you eat, anything that you drink, just write it down, and then look at it, and then pick a couple of items out of that aren't healthy and stop eating them. Replace them with something else. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be 1 or 2 items out of the 7 things that you eat a day that now you eat because you've written it down.
Yeah.
And maybe replace it with something else. Do that for 30 days. After those 30 days, do it again. Take 2 more items off, and just start making those little changes over a longer period of time.
I think that's great advice in the larger picture. What about right now?
Right now,
we're in a quarantine.
It's kind of too late for that, in the sense that I've already done my shopping. I already went to the grocery store and I hoarded everything that I could. I'm kidding, we didn't. But there are people out there that already did. So now they have all these boxes of processed foods and pastas and chips and just all this bad stuff. What are they going to do with it? I know you have no choice but to eat it now. So if you're one of those latecomers, like, this was going to end tomorrow and now you're realizing that it's not, grocery stores, every time my wife and I go to the grocery store, we get meat, we get vegetables. We never have a problem finding meat and vegetables. If we want some pasta, the pasta's gone, but we don't eat pasta every day. So it's about making
beautiful people in great shape. Some of us like pasta.
Yes, some of us I like pasta. Pasta's good.
Okay, so it sounds like we don't have any grand advice for how to eat through the quarantine because apparently everybody already shopped like crap.
Yep, pretty much.
How do you stay active? Let's just structure a workout in a way that people can use it moving forward.
Okay.
What are we looking at? So are we looking at, sit on your couch, sit and be fit, or should people go out and do some squats and lunges? We're allowed to go to the parks. How can we use that to our advantage?
Go to the park. Depending on what your fitness level is, start walking around. Walk around just do a nice little easy, slow walk for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then for the next 2 minutes, pick up the pace on the walk. And then for the next 3 minutes, easy walk. Pick up the pace, slow the pace, pick up the pace, slow the pace. Start with that by moving slowly and then moving quickly for a short interval of time. That's going to get your heart rate up. And then you start moving slow again. It's going to bring the heart rate elevating a little bit, going down, elevating, going down. That's going to, number one, help start to boost your metabolism. So now your body's going to start thinking like, okay, I can start burning some fat, or I
speed
can start,
up, slow down,
speed up, slow down, speed up. Yes. Doing movements and you don't have to, people don't need to work out for an hour or 3 hours a day. It's doing something in a 30-minute window. Of course, the higher the intensity on the workout, it's always going to be better. But, my high intensity compared to your high intensity, they're going to be different levels.
I've seen you work out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You've seen me work out recently. I work out when you work out. So
there was a time.
So, getting around, picking something up. The next walk that you go on, carry something. Just carry something. It doesn't matter what it is. Carry a weight. Get a backpack, put some stuff in it. Doesn't need to be heavy, and carry that. Just adding a load to you moving around is going to change what that workout is going to be. But right now, the main thing is you just got to get out. You can't being quarantined and being told, if you're not going to the grocery store, you have to stay at home. Yes, but you can still go outside. In your
parks are still open.
Yes, parks are still open. They don't want people walking around on the river walk. Go on the trails or
I said park.
Park. Yes, that's what I mean.
The river walk is not a park.
It's not. That's why I said they don't want people walking down there. But people are going to think that, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go walk on the river. No, don't. Go to a park. Go on some of the trails. Now the trails, oh my gosh, San Antonio's put so many paved bike trails out there. Go find one and go walk around. You can pull up to almost any street nowadays and there's going to be a parking lot that you can park to get on this trail. They've done a lot. So go and walk on those trails. Find some stairs somewhere. Walk up and down the stairs. If you're at home, go online, do a search for a body weight workout. You'll see things like doing, 20 sit-ups, 20 push-ups, and they don't need to be, the military style push-up. They can be like a knee push-up. You can do a push-up to an elevated surface, but all this stuff now, man, there's so much on YouTube and online that social media, just hashtag workout, search for it, and you're going to find a lot of stuff out there.
Let me ask you this. If somebody wants to start at CrossFit, you require them to do what's called an elements class. If I've got any listeners that are sitting here for 15 days and they're deciding I'm going to make a life change, and in 15 days when I get out, I'm going to go meet Art and I'm going to go start CrossFit. Is there anywhere they could look and say, you know what, I want to start learning what I'm going to need to know? Is there any way they can get any of that information right now on these 15 days they're sitting on the couch? Or what are the movements that you teach them?
So that's not so it's going to be different for all CrossFit gyms. There's not a standard that is available.
No, I'm talking about you
at my gym
for CrossFit Unchained.
For CrossFit Unchained, if you go to our website CrossFitUnchained.com, we do have a link on there that says elements. When you click on that link, it'll give you a little bit of information. We're basically going to run you through some of the most common movements that you'll see in a CrossFit class: box jumps, wall ball shots, push-ups, sit-ups, kettlebell swings, even Olympic lifting movements like cleans, snatches, jerks. We will walk you through all that stuff. People are like, well, I've never done a snatch before. That's okay. We're not going to have you doing snatches, doing a snatch movement with weight. It's going to be like a broomstick or a PV stick. We're going to show you what the movement is. We're going to have you move. We're not even going to do any weight yet. We do a whole week of pretty much one-on-one, almost private training type of class in order to get you ready to understand and just have an idea of what a movement is and where you're going to start. For example, a box jump, standing in front of a box and jumping on top of it. Usually in a workout, it's suggested that a male use a 24-inch box and a female use a 20-inch box. During our class, we're going to start you with like a 4-inch and take you to a 10-inch. And if we get you to a 12 and that's where you're comfortable, in our beginner's course, then when you get to class, you already know there's that 12-inch box when we're doing box jumps, and that's what I'm doing. Even though the workout on the board says 24 inches, I'm doing 12. And that's what our beginner's course is all about. So we give you an intro, get you to a starting point. So when you are in a class with, 8 to 10 other people, you already have an idea of what's going on. You have an idea of what the class, how it's going to flow from our little briefing intro to our warm up, to maybe our strength, to the conditioning part, then to our cool down. And then of course, high fives. And if it's Friday, we have free beer. So
I've never gotten a free beer at the gym.
You've never been there Friday evening.
What should somebody expect if they're going to try to join your CrossFit? I think it's a 2-week elements class.
Yeah, we have a couple of options now. When we first started, it was a 2-week elements class. We still have that option, but we are also doing a 3-session one-on-one private training, which is if you're talking price, it's the same price. We just do the private training more to your schedule. The other 2-week one, it's 5 classes in the evening at 7:30. And then after that, the 2-week intro, you get a week of regular classes. So you're pretty much committing to 2 weeks. And after the 2 weeks, if you feel it's not for you, then that's it. You're done. There's no obligation or anything. The private track is more for somebody who's who wants to give it a month. And so they're going to give it a month. They want to get their 3 done really quick and then jump into regular classes because they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're really good about working with people who have sort of high demanding jobs and things like that. That's what I've always appreciated, worth working out with you. Okay. So let's do a little bit of a speedball here. Single best movement somebody can do if they want a single body workout, like a whole body workout with a single movement.
A burpee.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hate those.
Yeah, everybody hates them. Burpees are.
And for people that don't know, standing down to a push-up position, push up, stand up again, and jump.
Yes.
Technically a burpee.
The easier way to say it is, you start at a standing position. I want you to lay down on the ground on your stomach. From laying down on your stomach, I want you to get up. That's a burpee, and that's it.
No jump.
You don't need to jump. No, lay down from a standing position, lay on the floor on your stomach, get up off the floor off your stomach. That's a burpee.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you want to do them really fast, then, that changes the movement just a little bit. Yeah.
How long should somebody expect if they're saying, you know what, I'm out of shape, I need to get in shape? What are you going to tell them in terms of, okay, well, give it this many months of making good choices before you'll start to see something?
It all depends on what the person's doing outside the gym. You can come and you can be the hardest worker in the class 5 days a week, but if you're treating your body, really bad outside of the gym.
I'm saying somebody's going to listen to your advice, nutritionally, sleep, workout. How long before they start to see changes?
2 months.
2 months. I think that's fair. Yeah. People think, I'm going to get this done real quick, but that's just not the truth of it.
No, you can take a shortcut and, you can drop 20 pounds in 2 to 3 weeks, but it's not going to be healthy. You'll just end up gaining the weight back. Yeah. If you want to make a good lifestyle choice, 8 weeks.
If somebody wants to join CrossFit, is there any age limitation?
No.
Is there any weight limitation?
No.
Do they have to have a history of doing any sort of physical activity?
Like high school sports or college sports? No.
Okay. Anybody, anywhere can come join CrossFit, and they're going to be able to find a way to do it.
Correct.
When I worked out there was a man in a wheelchair who came and worked out with us every so often. Workouts were made for him.
Yep. And
then we had people, I saw some people that had to be in their 80s there on occasion. We had the full range of people.
Yep. I think we've done kids classes, we've done teen classes, we've done silver sneaker classes. So everything in between, and it's interesting because it's always, everybody minus the kids, everybody's doing the same workout. It's just a different version for you, depending on where your fitness level is at. And that's the responsibility of the coach, is to make sure you're at your level and you're not doing anything that's going to cause you any harm or potentially get you injured.
A lot of people are going to be sitting on their couch for the next 2 weeks. And if they want to reach out to you and learn more, how can they reach out to you?
They can go to our website, CrossFitUnchained.com, go to our contact page, fill out the form, and send us a message.
And Art will respond.
Yes, I will. I will respond, or Christina will respond. Yeah, okay. Either one of us. Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add for our people that are going to be stuck in their houses and want to maintain some sort of level of mental and physical fitness?
It's more. I think it's more important now to just get outside, even if it's just to go walk around your street, walk around your neighborhood, get outside your house for about 20 to 30 minutes every day. Go
avoid cabin fever.
Avoid it. Yes, that isolation thing. It's bad. And yes, I can FaceTime with my aunt who lives down the street. That I shouldn't go visit because she's in the high risk group, but I should walk down to her street, knock on her door, wave to her through her window rather than do the FaceTime, because then I'm getting out of my house. And the cabin fever. Don't be stuck in your house.
Fair enough.
Get out.
Art, thank you for joining us. That does it for this episode of the Alamo Hour. Huge thank you to Art Pruneda, who owns CrossFit Unchained here in San Antonio. You can reach out to him and ask more questions. I'll put his name and contact information on our website. Our next episode will be coming up soon. We have a lot of great guests to choose from. Don't know who it's going to be right now, but I promise it'll be somebody good. Our guest wish list continues. Coach Pop, Robert Rivard, Jackie Earl Haley. Come on, talk to us. If you know them, help us. If not, we'll see you next episode. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Alamo Hour. You are all what make this city so great. We hope you join us next week. In the meantime, subscribe to our podcast. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Alamo Hour or our website, alamohour.com. Until next time, Viva San Antonio!